So James, welcome here today. Being our biofuels expert, I have a few questions for you.
Perfect. I'm excited to answer them.
How can debunkering help clients reach their ESG targets in the offshore wind segment?
Each client we see is different. They have different needs, they have different wants, they have different areas that they want biofuels in. Biofuels are not a commodity like conventional fuels yet. It's not one size fits all. It's a tailored solution. Because the market isn't fully developed, everything that we try to do is bespoke to make sure that the clients get exactly what they want at the time that they want in the way that they want.
What are the alternatives to marine gas oil?
The alternatives to marine gas oil in terms of biofuels at the moment is mostly FAME and HVO. FAME and HVO are actually differentiated between two different production processes. FAME is fatty acid methyl esters, and it goes through a production process called transesterification. HVO is hydrotreated vegetable oil, and hydrotreating of vegetable oil goes through a completely different process. Now, both can be used as alternatives for marine gas oil. Both have very similar properties to marine gas oil. HVO is actually considered to be of a superior quality to MGO. FAME, while it's a very suitable fuel for marine, it's not as good, especially in cold flow properties, as HVO. So again, it comes down to exactly what the client wants. HVO is very expensive, but some clients need it because they travel in cold environments. FAME, some clients prefer the price advantage. So again, we look at what the client wants and we help them find the best solution for them.
What is biofuel and which ones are available for marine use?
So we've already spoken about how FAME and HVO are different, but there's even more complexity added to biofuels because there's an underlying feedstock. So these underlying feedstocks are broken down into typically 3 different generations. There's first generation, which is basically food and food-related crops. That falls under the food versus fuel argument or indirect land use claim argument. So they're generally not used to comply with the regulations because the regulations don't allow it. Then there's second generation biofuels. These are mostly what we see in the marine use. These are biofuels like used cooking oil, tallow, palmy, which is palm oil mill effluent methyl ester, if it's a FAME. And these are the biofuels generally in use. There's also third generation biofuels, which are more advanced and require a little bit more advancement in technology to become commercially viable. This will be things like algae, and we hope to see them coming in because they will be a sustainable way forward and a scalable way forward in the future, we hope.
What are the main difference between HVO and FAME?
Well, they're 2 different production processes, first of all, but they differ, the end products differ in specification, shelf life, price, and cold flow properties, generally. HVO is a very high quality product and is actually preferred by the aviation and the road transport sector because of the high quality. It has better cold flow properties, like I was saying. It is suitable for marine use, of course, but the price is very high compared to marine fuels. And biofuels is already a very expensive product. HVO is one of the more expensive biofuels. So we don't see it being used too much in the marine industry. A perfectly suitable alternative is FAME. Now, FAME does have worse cold flow properties than HVO, but it doesn't mean that it's a showstopper. FAME can be blended with MGO that has good cold flow properties and making it perfectly suitable for ships traveling in colder environments. FAME is more economically viable, and we see that as being one of the main biofuels that will push the marine industry forward into decarbonization.
There are many concerns when it comes to biofuels.
So there are considerations that need to happen on board. Luckily, we don't need to even go through all of them right now because we have a technical expert that will help your technical team make sure that the specific FAME that you're lifting, the FAME blend, or whatever biofuel you're lifting, is properly handled on board. The main considerations is to keep it in an empty, or to put it into an empty tank to make sure that it's not commingling with anything at the bottom of that tank, to remove everything that's pumpable, and to have good housekeeping rules in place.
Since biofuels is a drop-in, it can be used on the engines that's already on board the vessel. What then happens when you put on a biofuel, when I'm thinking about the warranty, for example?
It's a very good question. We have our technical expert who has actually gone as far as speaking to the original engine manufacturers such as Wärtsilä about specific use of specific biofuels. So he has already spoken to the original engine manufacturers, the ones who are important for the warranty, to make sure that they're comfortable with the use of the specific biofuels that we're supplying. So that is how we try and mitigate that risk.
Okay, so we are already talking with the engine manufacturers and
Yes.
helping our clients, making sure that this is not something they should worry about.
There's an additional consideration, compliance risk. With these biofuels, the reason that a lot of people are taking them is to comply with the regulations that are coming out by the EU and soon the IMO. We have a compliance department that has a 6I principle. So we make sure that every document that is passed in compliance follows or is checked by 3 different people to make sure that everything is aligned with compliance. We additionally go to your verifier and make sure they are okay with the documents that you're receiving to make sure that everything runs smoothly when you have to submit the documents or surrender your EUAs or deal with the Fuel EU maritime reporting requirements. We're also involved in a number of committees that are speaking about biofuels and speaking about the way forward and the future of biofuels. So with being involved in these committees, we involved with key stakeholders in the industry that we find important to have a network with to ensure that we have the best solutions available for our clients when they need it. We also go as far as speaking to our clients' verifiers and making sure that the compliance documents that are being produced by the suppliers are in line with what the verifiers want and are in line with what the regulations demand, to make sure that you're not just going to buy a very expensive gas oil.
Okay.
So what I would suggest is you reach out to your local dam bunkering fuel supplier, or you reach out to me, myself, and we'll make sure that you get the information that you need, and we have the discussions that are necessary to make sure that you're compliant and you're compliant in a safe way.
Perfect. Thank you very much, James.